are live. Yes, we are live on Nomad's channel. Good morning, Mr. Quinn. How are you today?
Good morning to you, sir. And just so as everyone knows, it's my birthday.
Happy
I've managed to make it a whole
birthday!
year. Yeah.
Happy birthday to Jensen. All right,
Thank you
everybody
very
can
much.
wish him a happy birthday. How are you all doing?
Fair.
I hope that you're all enjoying this. This is not going to be very long, right? Because, well,
Yeah.
I don't have a ton of time here before I have to start work and, do things to actually pay
Ew.
bills.
hmm
It's part of
Work
life.
sucks.
And I've really
Yeah.
only got two stories.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Um. So I'm just gonna go jumping right into them.
Okay, mate.
I hope you don't mind. And yes,
Oh, please
for
do.
those who can tell, right? This will be rants. This will be rants.
No, you ranting? Ugh, when has that ever happened?
Okay. I just want people to understand that I'm gonna go ranting,
Mhm.
right? And about some of their, a person who's one of their favorite people.
Oh, God.
But we'll start with Nancy. Notice
Mm.
I don't expect Nancy to be part of or one of the favorite people, all right, that was being referred to earlier, all right? Nancy Pelosi. China warns its military will not sit idly by if Pelosi visits Taiwan. Now, I find it amusing that they are more upset. They're getting more bent out of shape, supposedly, the Chinese are, that Nancy Pelosi is visiting rather than Biden, who visited, what was it, not too long ago, right? Did I miss that?
Yep. No. No.
Right? China said Monday its military will not sit idly by if U.S. House Representative Speaker Nancy Pelosi visits Taiwan. The latest warning was issued during a Chinese Foreign Ministry regular briefing. Spokesman Zhao Lujian also said that because of Pelosi's status as the #3 official in the U.S. government, you have no understanding of how the U.S. government works. Okay, a visit to Taiwan, which China claims as its own, would lead to an egregious political impact. Hey, Joe, you might want to check your bank account. Just putting it out there. Okay?
May
Just
I offer an opinion here, please?
you don't think that that's the
Oh.
issue?
Oh, no, that's the least of the thing. My opinion is to Xi Jinping, Winnie the Pooh, Ping. I believe the exact words are, bring it, bitch.
Okay. All right.
You
Anyway,
wouldn't dare.
you know,
Go on.
Pelosi was set to kick off a tour of 4 Asian countries on Monday in Singapore amid intense speculation that she may risk the wrath of Beijing by also visiting self-ruled Taiwan. This writing is by Eduardo Baptista, Martin Pollard in Beijing, edited by Mark Henrik. Now, Pelosi had no choice. She has no choice. She has to go. And if she thinks that pulling a fast one, and I'm serious about this, because this is the kind of stunt she would pull. Pulling a fast one to say, okay, I'm there. Oh, I'm sick. I can't go to Taiwan.
Yeah.
Right? Start the trip, all the bluster, and then go, I'm going to, I can't quite make it. That's something that she would do. Look for it. Look for it. Good morning, TC. All right? Because that's the kind of person that she is. Now, I'm hoping she goes. And not because of Batman's commentary. All right? Batman's commentary notwithstanding. All right? The fact is we need to support Taiwan right now. And we need to give full support to Taiwan right now. Good morning, Sean. I don't know why, Sean, why your response is coming up so late on my chat. I see
Good
his chat,
question.
but it's so late.
Yeah. Don't know. Odd. Hmm.
It might be because YouTube doesn't like me. I'm just putting it out there. All right.
Actually, that is quite possible. I've had that happen on a few streams.
But now Pelosi, I'm hoping she goes. We need to give Taiwan full support. All right, we need to start. We if you want a country, we need to be spending $40 billion in weapons sales too. All right, it's Taiwan. Okay,
Yeah.
we need to start going in there and saying, okay, we're going to upgrade your entire air force to integrate with ours. Okay, that's what we should be doing with them. We should be going out there and go, look, we found these 35 F-35s just sitting on the runway somewhere. Here you go.
One sec.
What? What? What, Jensen? What did you do, sir? Right? Now I want you to think on some things here, folks. We're giving the Ukraine $40 billion. All right? That's 40 billion with a B. Now, Taiwan is in more dire straits. Okay? Now, 40 billion, for those who don't understand how much 40 billion is, I want you to consider our most expensive airframe. Our most expensive, all right, aircraft, all right, that we have in the United States Air Force today, and that's the F-22 Raptor. Each F-22 Raptor is around $300 million a piece.
Oh, I think I'll buy two. I think I've got the money in my back pocket somewhere.
Okay. But if you're giving somebody $40 billion, how, and you said, okay, we're just going to do it in the form of giving you F-22 Raptors, think about how many planes that is. That's 120 F-22 Raptors.
Yeah.
Do you realize how much $40 billion is now? Does it make sense now? What I'm talking about? Do you understand what I'm saying? And we're going to give it to a country that is so friggin' corrupt. Not that Taiwan is a bastion of righteousness. All right, I'm not saying that the Taiwanese don't have problems with corruption, but they have less they have less problems with corruption than the Ukraine has.
Yeah.
Right. Hold on just a second here, folks.
Yeah. No worries.
You say that, no worries, but to me it's a worry. Okay.
Oh my God, she's coffee machine. Something's gone wrong. That's it, everyone.
So
We're going
F-22.
to,
So you can give 100. That's more than our entire Air Force has of those platforms right now. Think about that. Now the question then becomes, well, crap. Our budget is $800 billion for the defense budget. Where is it going? You know what they never tell you about that? What they never explain to you about all that money?
Go on.
Is it doesn't go to the Army. It goes to the Navy and it goes to the Air Force. Especially the Navy because, you've got an aircraft carrier. How much does an aircraft carrier cost? Around $10 billion. Okay?
Fair.
Alone. Right? And then you still got to fuel it. You've got nuclear reactors on it. You've got to have all the other. You got to think about it. Think about the cost of these things. Think about the cost of just running these things safely.
Yeah.
And you'll start to understand this. Now, granted, the Army has the lion's share of people. Okay? When it comes to the military, the total number of military personnel, the majority of those people are in the United States Army in some form. Okay? But that's just and that's not an insignificant number of from a budgetary concern. When you're talking hundreds of thousands of people, all right, money adds up quick. All right, so I understand people's concerns and so forth, right? But at the same time, when you start talking about, well, we're just going to give out of a budget, $40 billion to the Ukraine, and yet we're not going to spend anything on Taiwan.
Hmm.
Do you see a problem here?
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying we give them F-22 Raptors. I wouldn't give Taiwan the F-22s. I would give them F-35s, though. And I would give them a lot. Okay? I would give them at least 30 to 40 F-35s. Right? And I would teach them how to integrate those things. Because the reality of air power is not what the individual platform itself by itself on an island can do. It's how you integrate all of them together.
Yes.
And how those forces are interlocked and integrated and can work together that makes them so frickin' devastating. All right?
Oh, yeah.
You can't call in air support, for example, if there isn't somebody on the ground saying, hey, here's a guy here, or somebody else saying, hey, there's where the enemy is. All right?
Yep.
Here's where we're at, and you can identify where they're at. Now, if you're British and you're running around in wheeled vehicles, that might be a problem. All right, I shouldn't laugh about this because it wasn't funny, but we had a friendly fire incident during the war, simply because the vehicles run by the British had wheels, and our friend foe identification cards that every military member goes through, any wheeled vehicle was the enemy. In those stupid flashcards. So if it had wheels, it was identified as the enemy. Doesn't matter what it was flying.
I'm saying nothing. You know I go off on one on this, but I'm saying nothing.
And for those who didn't hear the start of this, happy birthday to Jensen. Say happy birthday to Jensen. It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday, everybody.
So did B give you the present of not showing up today?
Yes. Oh, it's brilliant. Oh, sorry. Did I sound excited there? Oops. No, I really am actually happy. It's
that was almost orgasmic for me.
Actually, TC is correct. So the motto is, if it moves, shoot it. Yes, that is exactly the motto of the U.S. Air Force, including themselves. I'll be honest.
Well, they weren't moving. The ones when we did ourselves a friendly fire incident, they were just sitting there doing their jobs.
Yeah.
And you had a captain. That's it. Shoot him. Okay. And it wasn't our Air Force. It was other Army units that were doing it.
Yeah. By the way, Matt's grey. You've done it. Good.
That was already taken care of. Thank you, Jensen.
Okay. All right.
I noticed that right away.
Just checking for you, dude.
Matt Barkley,
okay.
You are now a moderator. Play nice. Alrighty. Now for the other story that I intend to get into today.
Mm-hmm.
Jon Stewart goes to war on Twitter with Ted Cruz over veterans' health care. I'll go slow, 'cause I know you only went to Princeton and Harvard. All right. Comedian Jon Stewart and GOP Senator Ted Cruz have gone to war on Twitter over the PACT Act. All right. Comedian Jon Stewart lashed out at GOP Senator Ted Cruz on Twitter over the Veterans Health Care bill. Stewart initially uploaded a clip addressing inaccuracy to a response Cruz gave on why the Republicans blocked the PACT Act, all right, a bill that would expand health care for veterans exposed to toxic burn pits. Cruz was one of several Republican lawmakers seen fist bumping after the bill was blocked. Cruz said that while he supports the PACT Act, the dispute over the Democrats playing a budgetary trick and by taking $400 billion in discretionary spending and shifting it to mandatory spending. Stewart replied by pointing out Well, that's not a trick. No, Stewart. That isn't anything to worry about. Now, notice how they talked about this. Notice how he says $400 billion in discretionary spending and shifted it to mandatory spending. Stewart replied by pointing out, that's no trick. Dearest Theodore, I do appreciate you and Jesse Waters trying to rally the forces of misinformation and trying to kill more veterans. All right? But not tonight, sweetie. I'll go slow cruise because I know you only went to Princeton and Harvard. All right, Stewart was likely referring to Fox's host Jesse Waters' segment on Jesse Waters Primetime, where Waters claimed the comedian's blame on Republicans for the PACT Act not passing was misguided. Everything in the government is either mandatory or discretionary spending, depending upon which bucket they feel like putting it in. The whole place is basically a effing shell game, Stewart said. He's pretending that this is some new trick that the Democrats pulled out and stuck into the bill and snuck it past one Ted Cruz. All right, now, this is why, all right, Mr. Stewart, you're a fucking liar. All right? This is why this bastard is a friggin' fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This 400 billion, right? Or million, right? What was it? 400 billion. $400 billion. Now, let me ask you a question. By the way that this story is read, by the way that Jon Stewart's trying to present this, what's that $400 billion for?
I'm going to be honest, I have no freaking idea.
Because it has nothing to do with the PACT Act!
That's what I thought.
Okay? This fraud is saying, what the Democrats do, you should just excuse that. We should just let them do whatever they want. By making it mandatory rather than discretionary, you can't reduce the entire freaking budget anymore. And you know that, Mr. Stewart. It's a freaking shell game being played by the Democrats, and you're like, let them play it. Because the poor veterans, like you freaking care, you fraud. If you cared about the veterans, maybe you would place them as a higher priority than Bessie the cow.
Yeah.
For those who don't know what I'm referring to, is good old Jon Stewart thought it was so friggin' important, he poured in money in New Jersey to create we gotta stop the animal killing. So he created a farm for Bessie the cow so she doesn't get murdered and turned into food and burgers for your grill. He spent his private money on that. Millions and millions and millions. This fraud, this piece of shit. Oh, he's always talking about how other people need to be doing this, how the government needs to be doing this, but that fraud himself. Hey, John, if you really want to take care of veterans with burn pits, and hey, I'm all for it. I'm even all for actually the government taking care of them.
Mm-hmm.
But this has nothing to do with that, does it? This has nothing to do with the veterans. If you want that, why aren't you demanding a clean bill? Why aren't you going to your friends, your leftist loons, and saying, hey, we can pass this. All you gotta do is take out your horse shit. Oh, no, but that's too tough for you, isn't it, John? No. It's easy to sit up and go, see, the Republicans are blocking back. Man, it's them. While you help with the supposed shell game you're upset about. Go F yourself, you friggin' fraud!
Yep.
Did I make that clear for everybody?
I think people begin to notice you're not the greatest of his fans. Okay?
Oh, I had a friend who was a firefighter who died on 9/11, and they were so. See, I gave it a passion plea to sit up there, and we need to sit up there and help these people, while Mr. Fraud sits up there and goes, "Oh, we need $7 billion." Excuse me, we need $7 billion. We need $7 billion to help other New Yorkers. And there was an attack on everybody, and we need the New Yorkers' help. Okay, fraud boy. Okay, but what's the budget of New York City?
I dread to even think.
All right, you could have sit up there and spent 1% of the New York State budget 1% to recover from all of that without ever asking for the federal government to do it. Why is it you couldn't sit up there and get other New Yorkers to give up 1% of their budget? Huh, John?
Yeah.
You're a fraud. It needs to be paid for. Not by me, of course. See, we're not going to do that. How long have you known me, Jensen?
It's got to be about 6, 7 years now, I would say.
Only 6 or 7?
Yeah.
How long have people been thinking I'm even having a stroke?
About, I can actually say about 6 or 7 years.
I could use a few billion.
Yeah, he's not wrong. That's a fair statement. I mean, let's face it, the poor guy is part of New York, even if he's not part of the uncivilized crap.
6 or 7 seconds sounds about right. I'm not going to have a stroke, folks. I'm going to be a plague for through eternity for you guys, just so you understand. This is going to be a plague on all of you.
Get rid of the Democrats and you can get rid of him. He'll actually finally have defeated his enemy when all the Democrats are gone. Just saying, give it a try. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't.
Look, I'm not trying to say that I have all the friggin' answers with this shit, right?
No.
But I can tell you right now, right, this crap needs to go. This is the kind of lying sack of shit, right, that Jon Stewart, all right, has always been. He's a liar. He's a charlatan. That's all he has ever friggin' been. And he knows he's wrong about this issue. If you want to sit up there and help the veterans, why aren't you saying, hey, we need to come together, clean up the bill? If this is what it takes to get the bill, isn't that bill more important than the rest of your freaking bullshit? No, it isn't, John, is it? You're not going to them because you prioritize fucking over the country, all right, than you do the veterans, but at the same time, I'm supposed to give you hosannas because you're taking on the evil Ted Cruz. Go fuck yourself. Now does it sound like I'm kind of a new thing?
Yeah.
Vodka's great as a screwdriver, by the way.
Yeah. Worth a shot.
I
Really?
used to drink those heavily when I was in the military.
I was never a vodka guy. I've always been bourbon. I'll be honest with you. I love that stuff. Bourbon and rum.
Rum. I had a bad incident with rum, so rum was off the table for the most part. You know how you have that one bad incident with one of the alcohols, and your body says, no, never again.
Oh yeah, even the smell makes you heave. I understand completely. Ah, that's it, Matt. You're disgusting. How can you like that cranberry? It's horrible. I'm okay with vodka, but cranberry. No.
The problem with vodka, honestly, is vodka increases my aggression level quite a bit.
Oh boy!
Tequila makes me happy, but vodka increases my aggression level, and I'm serious.
Basically, the exact opposite it should be. Well, for any of you that are feeling really suicidal, what you should actually have is this Irish drink. It's called poitín. It's really good.
Is this a Jensen or a Nomad Torque? I'm just putting it out there, folks.
Tequila is the devil.
But the thing is about Jon Stewart and the rest of these freaking frauds is they made that whole story. They didn't bother to explain that what they're calling the PAC Act, the vast majority of the spending in it has nothing to do with veteran spending or veteran burn pits or any of the rest of that. Yep. The vast majority is all this other freaking nonsense. But see, they focus on the one issue, right? And Jon Stewart knows this. He focuses on that one issue, and then he blames everybody else while they poison the water with this, saying, well, you didn't want to support the veterans. Is that what the bill was about? Why is it, John, all right, that this issue deals with $400 billion, but the PAC Act itself is only a couple billion? The money going to be spent to the vets in the burn pits is only going to be a couple of million. Why is it? Why is it called that? Well, because you can sit up there and lie then, right? So you can try and get one over on the American people, right? So you can sit up there and talk about this issue as if, oh, no, this is only about the veterans, when you know it isn't. And once again, I'm all for this, all right? Put out a clean bill. How tough is that? How tough is that, John, to call for a clean bill? Oh, well, it's real tough because then you got to talk to your supposed friends. Then you got to talk to other leftists and say, hey, I just want some, come together with me because I want you to support, okay, the veterans. Why is it that support for the veterans is always conditional on the left sitting up there spending the country into oblivion?
Yeah.
And you had that other friggin' fraud hype pop in on Twitter, right? Who am I referring to? Bernard Sanders. Because good old Bernard stood up there and made the same stupid comments. Once he saw that Jon Stewart was getting some publicity on this issue, all right, good old Bernard jumped in. Oh, we got to do something for the veterans. You haven't done anything for the veterans except cheer on the spitting when they came off the things from Vietnam. All right, how about that? We know what you think of veterans.
Yeah.
We saw what you were like. Cares about veterans. Go F yourself, Bernie.
It's just a political thing, and you know it. Basically, when the veterans are hated, they spit at the veterans. When the veterans are supported, they like to be seen to be supporting the veterans. It don't mean bugger all, and you know it.
No, exactly. The veterans aren't going to get anything. Here's your pittance. Here's what I got. Look at this.
Yep.
They walk around. It's like a Charlie Brown Halloween, right? The Democrats, I got a mansion. I got a condo. I got a yacht. And the veteran, I got a rock.
Yeah.
That's what this is like.
And then they'll come and tax the rock, and you know they will.
These people are flat out
woman's doorbell
evil. All right? They always have been. They always friggin' will be. They are frickin' evil, conniving SOBs. Because that's who they are.
Yeah.
All right. Final story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, kind of a final story. It's a final story in a way.
Okay.
Are you ready, Jensen?
Probably not, but go for it.
Hey, boo-boo. Let's see if we can get a picnic basket this way. Hey, boo-boo. Anybody home? Hey, boo-boo. All right.
Oh,
Now,
dear.
this thing looks like all it wants to do is get in. There's nothing wrong with this. This is a monster, folks. Bears are not play toys. All right? Oh, look at little Yogi and Boo Boo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Have you ever seen the fangs and so forth on Boo Boo? So this bear decides it wants to pay a visit. It came up to a home and rang the doorbell. Would you love to yell at damn kids? What are you gonna do? And Yogi goes, I will rip your face off.
You got to ask this yourself, what's worse? Opening the door and finding a flaming bag of poop, or opening the door and finding a grizzly bear? I'm sure one of them's got to be bad.
Look, finding a grizzly bear would be definitely more devastating. Now, that wasn't a grizzly bear, for those who don't know, but that was a black bear. All right,
just saying.
You can pretty much tell the difference, all right, because of the facial features are just slightly different. They're slightly different in. If you see them walking, one thing that's very noticeable on a grizzly bear is that hump in the back, right?
Gotcha.
Now, those things are grizzly bears are intelligent and they're fierce.
Oh,
Okay?
yes.
Don't ever believe this nonsense about how these bears can be taken out easily or you could stare one down and whatever. That's not what a bear does. Okay? Bears, when they're in a bad mood, can kill you very easily. Grizzly bears, for those who don't know, grizzly bears hunt black bears. Okay? So, just so you understand what you're dealing with, right? If it's a bear coming to visit, but the thing is in South Carolina, when did the black bears come back? It's like, we're seeing these animals more and more in areas that we thought that they had moved out of. All right. So it's, especially black bears. The black bear population in America has exploded. Right. There will soon be black bear hunts, I suspect, where people will go out there and try and shoot bears. Now, bear meat, for those who don't know, I've had bear meat one time. It's okay. Bears are omnivores. They eat everything. But those are the stories that I had today, Jensen. I just told you I wanted to go on a quick rant. I appreciate you coming out.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else
No
you
worries.
want to say aside from, and once again, for those who don't know, happy birthday to Jensen.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. No, actually, two things. One, I hear that bear liver is really nice. And two, apparently Britain, in its infinite wisdom, has decided to bring wolves back and bison. Yeah, you heard me. Bison.
Wolves?
Wolves and... No. Wolves I can deal with. Everyone knows about the British bison. It's a well-known thing. Oh, that's right. No, I've never bloody heard of British bison. But apparently we now have them roaming our countryside. Just saying.
You think that wolves are nothing? That's a good way to get rid of the 2/3 of the London population if you do it right.
No, that is a fair statement. But in all fairness, you get a pack of wolves, say you get 10 wolves coming at you, that's a bad thing. You get 10 bison coming at you, that's bad. The city's
You get a
dead.
single wolf coming at you, it's a bad thing.
That's
right?
your
For those who don't know, wolves aren't dogs, okay? They don't weigh 60 pounds. All right? A full-grown wolf will weigh around 120 to 130 pounds. A male one can weigh up to 150 pounds. All right? That's the size of a human with the teeth and speed and claws. Well, they don't really have claws per se, but of a canine, okay?
Yeah. So attempting to slap them on the nose with a paper and say bad doggy is a good idea, and all Democrats, I know exactly what I said. They should do it because I think that's a great idea.
You just want some of these people eaten.
If I can't eat them, someone else should. Okay.
Save the planet. And Matt Markley, black bears can't catch a break in a polar bear supremacist society.
He's not wrong.
The days we go on. All right, everybody. I hope you all had a good day. We'll talk to you later. I'm going to stop the stream now. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.